Three, two, one. Let's do this. All right, so now that I found you guys, it's me, it's Vlad, and we are here with the Machete Podcast. Got my vape, got my coffee. Let's get to this, all right? So how's everyone's day going? I hope it's going good for you guys. I hope it's going good. I hope it's going real good. Here's the Machete Podcast. We bring you the weird, the wonderful, the mundane, the stuff that you really can't put a thing on, but when you do, it just, you're like, why am I watching this? Why am I making this? Why any of this? Why any of this, actually? I mean, it's quite a thing. It's quite a thing. Anyway, audio wrist check, video wrist check. Let's do it. All right, so what we got here today is we have a Steel Dive SD 1970. Yeah, it's an homage to the Seiko Turtle. Look at that. Just look at that. It's great. I love it. Love it. Also today, I got a shipment in yesterday. Before we get into the episode, wrist check. What's on your wrist? Anyway, yesterday I got a couple of books in. Now this just shows you how I'm always learning, always grooving, moving and grooving. Wanted to share them with you real quick because I encourage everyone to read and read outside your comfort zone as well as inside your comfort zone. Like, just read. Like, that's why we need public libraries so much. So, like, even just get a library card, because if you get a library card, it shows the government how many people have a library card, even if you don't use it. It shows how much funding they get. So just go out there and get yourself a library card. Anyway, what I got yesterday, after the podcast was done, was Randy Alcorn, If God is Good. It's Faith in the Mindset of Suffering and Evil. This isn't a plug for them. It's just what I'm going through. Because when it comes to rigidosity and comes to faith and everything, like I've got faith in my higher power, right? And my higher power's got my best interest at heart, as everyone should when they have a higher power. But this is just more so, like, when I'm going through it, like, why does bad shit happen? Like, why is it? You know? And not only that, but, like, where's the goodness in it when there's bad stuff? Where is the goodness on the other side of the spectrum, folks? Because I got a couple books. I gotta keep the old brain pan and the old heart a thumping away, right? Gnosis and Hermeticism, from antiquity to modern times. Yes. So it dives into another angle of Western culture, is what it is. So how to find inner self. If before with my higher power I was looking outward for my higher power, this is more looking inward. And it's just to get another viewpoint on life, the universe, and everything weird as we know it. Right? Wouldn't that be cool to talk about? Maybe I'll talk about it on the podcast. Maybe that'll be a great idea. And then for my nerd side, for all you nerds out there, I got the new Kaiju number 8. What? Amazon told me it was ordered till October. When I had to wait, like October 3rd. So we'll ship October 3rd. They sent it early. Like, quite a bit early. Anyway, got the other wrist check out of the way. Got a new mic. We got that. I got some new coffee. So let's get into today. What I want to go over today, you have to follow me on this, all right? Just gonna have to follow me on this. So as I am your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh duelist and your favorite algorithm slave, your main cat girl ally, it's me, Vlad, the host of the Machete. And today I want to talk a little bit about Warhammer 40k with a twist. And I'll get into the twist. Like, the twist is like modern day events and everything. So, you know, like in Warhammer, like, for all you guys out there that don't know about Warhammer, it's a grim, dark vision of the future. It is like, if everything could go wrong, would go wrong, yes. Like, there's no happiness. It's about humanity space voyaging into the galaxy. And the galaxy is full of everything that wants to kill you. It's eat or be eaten. So humanity has to rise to the occasion. And in this, they have what is known as they're led by a God-Emporer. He's one of their emperors, the last emperor of mankind, who now is kept alive on life support by being fed thousands of souls every day from humanity's worlds and stuff that are sacrificed to him. And he's like kept alive in this like catatonic state, and he's got like psychic powers and stuff, but then he's got like army and milistratum and military. Yeah, I said milistratum. So all you guys out there who know what I'm talking about, you little 40K nerds, yeah, I see you. The ministratum, the ecclesiarchy. The ecclesiarchy is what I want to get into today. The ecclesiarchy are like space Catholics. Okay, so imagine Catholics in space. Now, the tithing, the worshiping the God-Emporer, because he's the one that saved them and keeps them safe from the warp, which the warp is demons and deities and everything. His demons in there. Anyway, the ecclesiarchy in this whole grim dark world is like their church, right? And like part of the church, one of the leaders of the church, went up to another warlike cult, right? And wanted him to follow the church, right? One of these battle princesses or these battle brides or whatever, which is in tie into like Brides of Christ and stuff. It's Warhammer. What are you gonna do? And in doing so, he's not wearing his power armor because, of course, it's futuristic. So they have power armor and gene implants and everything else. Not wearing his power armor, nothing else like that. All he has is his rosary, right? And he commands one of his subordinates to shoot him. And of course, the subordinate's like, I don't want to do that. And then there's a guy who like pointing a gun at him, like, you're going to shoot him. You're going to follow his rules. All my 40K nerds know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so the guy does. The underling shoots him. And miraculously, he doesn't die. He's not wearing his armor. There's nothing special about him. Doesn't die. Thereby proving to this warlike cult that is a cult for the Emperor God, right? Proving to them that he is blessed. He is chosen by their God-Emporer, is what he is. And in doing so, gains their faith, gains their faithfulness, gains them into the fold. They become a bride to the church, is what these warlike women are about. And kind of ties into modern day events a little bit. A little bit. This is where we get a little sensational, if I wasn't sensational enough. The pageantry, and everything else. Like, we're gonna get into this. Like, I have notes, and we're gonna go over this. And this is like sensationalism journaling, is what I'm gonna do with this one today. Because this is a Rogue Network, baby, and the machetes on the front lines. All right, let's do this. Today's topic: the Trump unalive attempt. How does this tie into Warhammer 40K, you might ask? We'll get to that at the end, dear listener, dear viewer. We will get to that at the end. How nerd stuff can go with regular stuff. See, I'm bringing it together, give you something to talk about at the Thanksgiving table, at the dinner table, how nerd world and real world come together so we can bridge those gaps so you can find your voice. Remember? Because that's what the machete's about. All right. So let's start off with who's Trump? Okay, let's just go there. Let's just if you don't know. All right, Wikipedia says, born June 14th, 1946. Coincidentally, for all you astrologists out there, that makes him a Gemini. Okay? First thing, Gemini. Cool. He's an American politician, media personality, and businessman, and the 45th president of the United States of America from 2017 to 2021. What did he do, you might ask? Well, as a businessman, he renovated skyscrapers and hotels. He was the host of The Apprentice. And then during his office, he promoted conspiracy theories. Remember, this is all from the wiki. All right, so we're just giving cliff notes. You know, at the Machete, this is what we do. Cliff note it up, talk about it, add some stuff to it. During his term in office, he promoted conspiracy theories, some of those being deep state resisting. So, like, there's a deep state that's, like, in control of everything, and he's resisting them. He endorsed counter-jihad, as well as individuals associated with it. Now, counter-jihad is like, so you got the jihad, right? Which is like, we'll just say like Muslim, but like from sci-fi, like a jihad is anything that like goes against the government, that's like on the back of our planet and everything else. Anyway, there's tie-ins in all your literature, all your sci-fi literature. All you sci-fi nerds out there know about Blake's jihad from from Mech Warrior, from Mech Warrior series. Yeah. So, but in this case, like what they mean by the jihad is it's like the Muslim terrorists and extremists and their ground fighters. And the counter jihad individuals associated are those who are against the jihad and like all that stuff. And they might use jihad tactics themselves. I mean, just saying, when you start diving in on this stuff, you're like, wait a second, you're mad at him for doing that, but I'm kind of confused. There's no high ground in the real world. Just like there's no moral high ground in Warhammer 40k. First point of contention or compliance. Man, I gotta get better with word in this thing, right? Huh? Anyway, also what Trump wanted to do while in office, he wanted to drain the swamp and move 100,000 positions out of Washington. Said, nope, there's too much. There's too much power here. Too much. We're going to drain the swamp of all the gnarly politicians that are just using up them people. And people went for it. They went for it. But in doing that, moving that 100,000 positions out of there, and he was also going to put government officials on where they could be fired by the president. Instead of being like all cushy in their jobs and nothing ever happening to them, he was going to be like, no, I can fire you. Which on the surface sounds pretty good, but proponents of that, enemies of that thought process, said it would only make an army of suck-ups. Who would be there to go against the emperor? The emperor? I mean, the president. Who would be there? No. So, as we can see, Trump's got a loyal following. Track with me. He's got a loyal following, right? He's wanting to drain the swamp, all right, of all opposing beliefs. He's promoting these conspiracy theories. He says he resists the deep state that controls all our lives, the thing that goes against the mantra of freedom in America. He's doing all these things, right? And kind of like in Warhammer, the God-Emporer, like anyone who opposes him just gets like bullets. But it didn't like start off that way, right? Like we like built up to that, right? Like had to do like politicking and religiosity and everything else. And they had an army of suck-ups because if you went against the God-Emporer, you were like outcast at the very best. Normally you just got shot out or expelled out of a side of a spaceship, Anyway, so then there's an attempt on his life at the July 13th rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. I gotta be a little serious about this because this was an attempt on the president, but I'm still gonna try to inject the best machete I can into this podcast. So, for you that don't know what happened on July 13th at the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, a man known as Matthew Crooks took a shot at the president and fired at him a few times, injuring a couple bystanders and fatally wounding another, and took the president's ear. Now, what does the FBI have to say about this? The FBI, want to bring you some facts, not just be all, some facts here. All right, fact time, because I am a real reporter. Okay, so the FBI did gain access to Thomas Matthew Crooks' phone, and they're analyzing it, right? They searched his residence and vehicle. They had a 100 interview with law enforcement attendees to other witnesses. Oh, this all comes from what the FBI says. This is like their own website. So far, they have not identified his motive. He purchased the firearm legally, and the shooter was not known prior to the FBI. Now, that's everything the FBI is wanting to say, which, a little weird. We know so much about, other people that went against the government when it's different. I'm just seeing double standards here. A lot of double standards here. A lot of Warhammer themes going on here. A lot of trickery and a lot of subterfuge and just a lot. Yeah. Okay. So this is what the news has to say about it. Let me just see right here. Okay. So some of the news articles said shooter got to roof using mechanical equipment on the ground and piping on the side of the building. So basically, he like ninja'd his way, to the top of this building. Crazy, crazy. Not trying to like celebrate him, but crazy stuff. Also, some art news articles said Goodman described as loner, based on the number of phone contacts in his phone. So I guess if you don't have a lot of phone contacts, you're a loner. Cool, good to know. I mean, I don't know who. See, this is all hinky because who just has a few phone contacts? I mean, come on now. Come on now. Anyway, this is from the BBC. Shooter got good grades, always a loner. He was well liked, really quiet, a little weird. See, they keep saying he's a little weird. Like, I'm a little weird, but I ain't no shooter. Shoot. Former classmate told ABC News he shot terrible, not fit for the rifle team. This all will make sense at the end, I promise. Hang tough, hang with me. There's a little bit of sensational, conspiratorial talk. Let me just get the facts, and then we'll get to how this is Warhammer 40K, all right? Please, 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 please come back if you left. Anyway, or don't, I'm not hurt. All right. School district. No record of crooks trying out for rifle team. Never appeared on the roster. Oh no, my light. Okay, sometimes the light goes off. He was described as definitely conservative. The police and Secret Service were told of man on roof shouting and pointing from witnesses when they would look at them who's making loud noise and they were pointing at the roof like it was showing that they just didn't really care. Another point of weirdness. Weird. It was a 443-foot shot. So that's something. All right. So what do we know? All right. Trump, who was an activist against the deep state, attacked by what seemed as one of his own, because he was conservative and had a rifle and everything else. Yet we know little of the shooter. He was a loner, he was young, and he was conservative. Lines drawn from sci-fi. These are the lines. This is where I'm going to connect dots from sci-fi to real life. Give you something to talk about at that dinner table. All right. So we have the God-Emporer from 40K with loyal subjects everywhere who worship the God-Emporer. And the Emperor God-Emporer we trust. Weird. Was this a deep state attack? Was this a Republican coup? See, in the Warhammer 40K universe, they're constantly going after people, right? And like infighting and everything else. But also what they do is they set people up. Set up hardcore in any science fiction, any fantasy. There's always that twist, that zing, that man behind the curtain that's like, actually, and you never saw it coming. A side note, line drawn from hip hop, because Trump is the Republican God-Emporer. But line drawn from hip hop, where when you come from a lion, don't miss or you will miss your life. Like that's on some real G stuff. Like, you took a shot at me. You took a shot at me. Many men want me, did many men. Anyway, you know the songs. Anyway, side note. All right, back to the real topic here. All right, so was this a scripted event to silence Deep State's biggest enemy? Or was this orchestrated by Trump to further his own agenda? Follow me. You just don't go from being normal president dude, to being God-Emporer, being fed the souls of everyone and having trillions underneath you taking over and fighting the good fight in the galaxy with just mere votes, mind you. Mere votes. You don't do that. You don't get that leap. We don't get spaceships, and we don't get a God-Emporer on his Iron Throne, or his, I don't remember his throne name. I'm going to call it the Iron Throne, but I think that's Game of Thrones. Get my genres mixed up. Anyway, you don't get that just by nothing. So, follow me, please. Follow me. Trump supports counter-jihad, okay? They support the counter-jihad. Jihad are all about martyrs. Following? By having a Republican shoot the Republican God-Emporer, it martyrs both Shooter and Trump. Trump would gain so much support from this and be marveled at for surviving the attempt. Are you connecting the dots to what I said earlier? It would be as if an ancient was showing he was blessing his chosen. Warhammer 40k leader of the Galactic Church had a subordinate shoot him as a way of proving he was blessed by the God-Emporer, proving to a war cult his blessing, thereby uniting factions. Coincidence? So what is this? A democratic ploy for presidency? A deep state coup against their main opponent? Or a 40k-esque uniting of cults? Or was it something else? What I like to think. Now, at the Machete, we're going to say Vlad's thoughts. These are Vlad's thoughts. They've all been Vlad's thoughts. But like Vlad's like other thoughts, like the thoughts that go, hey, yo, talk to me. That was the scripted stuff. Now, what I think about is it'd be really cool if we like move forward in like Warhammer 40k universe, where it's us versus aliens, because it would stop the infighting here on humanity. If humanity like come together, we're good. But a lot of smarter people than me, there's a bunch of them. I'm sorry, there is. A lot of smarter people than me say that the only thing that would ever unite humanity is a greater threat. And what greater threat than aliens? Like, is this all like a thing to get us all under Trump? So we all support him. Like, oh look, even his own people, blah, blah, blah. Like to unite the cults. Like he's been chosen. Like, so what? Is there a greater threat? Like we already know, like there's UFOs and aliens, right? Like, and now like Trump's like his own people are like taking shots at him, right? And like, but you can't touch me, like gangster shit, like chosen shit, like the ancient ways have blessed me with the power to live. Like I am like touched. Is this what this is? Like, is this a coup on a coup? Is this a coup on himself, or is this the deep state trying to usurp his power? Is it the deep state in the state that be their way of institutionalizing their own God-Emporer, their own being that they want to fight against the future alien invasion? What is this? What it brings up so many other things, so many things. Why was this done? And we know little about him. Oh, and about the whole setting up one of your own people. Like, of course, like, come on now. In jihads, all right, they'll sacrifice a pawn to have the king in a better position. So thereby, why wouldn't a counter jihad sacrifice a pawn to better the king's position? King, position, God-Emporer, king. See, not a coincidence here. See, I mean, look, Charizard even knows, like we just, man. By the way, today's video, today's podcast was an idea based on one of my good friends. I'm gonna call him out right now, Dustin O. You're my guy. You're my brother. So do something sensational, talk about Trump and the assassination and, algorithm. And I'm like, yes, I'm a slave to the algorithm now. Woo, yay. Thanks for reminding me. Anyway, but, yeah, so I didn't run any of this by Dustin, so he's probably going to be a little shocked. He's going to be like, oh, what? You don't make any sense with the Warhammer 40k. So I'll go into Warhammer 40k a little bit more. So Warhammer 40k, like, there's different alien factions and different species, and they all just want to take over the galaxy for themselves. And humanity is like united, because if we're not united, we're going to die. Like, was this attempt at President Trump like a uniting faction? Like, is this like a setup for like another bigger domino down the line to like set us all up to like become united under like one rule, like one God-Emporer? Like, it just makes me wonder, man. Like with them declassifying like UFOs and no one worries about that because our rent's too high and who cares? Who cares, Vlad? What's it all matter? I mean, at the end of the day, what does it all matter? How does it affect me making this podcast? How does it affect me in my day job? How does it affect me putting food in my belly? How does it affect me other than my taxes? Huh? How does it? Well, I'm glad you asked, because it really doesn't. Not until we're all drafted for galactic war. We're not. But in the meantime, friends and family, mostly people listening, actually, because, no bitches. Um, it's just a good time to tell the story. And what better place than here on the in the aether, in the space we call the webway. Webway? Ooh, wait, no. The web, World Wide Web. The webway is where they travel in 40K. Another coincidence? I think not. But what a better way to pass the time than just to talk about this. And hopefully, after today, I gave you some insight into a little bit of Warhammer 40K. If you want to know more about Warhammer 40K, I'm going to shout out the podcast Lorehammer, Lore Hammer. All right, give them a look. They're a podcast on Spotify and everywhere you view your podcast app, and they're not affiliated with me by any means, but I love listening to them. And they gave a little bit of me some knowledge. Listen to their podcast for me to present to you in this podcast, and I butchered the job and didn't do a good enough job. If you want to know more about Warhammer 40K, Lorehammer, do it. Duncan's Coffee, support me. I love your coffee. Vape shops, stay open. I love your nicotine. I think that's all I got for you guys this week. It was suggested that I do more than just weekly podcasts. Maybe I do like bi-weekly or tri-weekly. Like, how would you guys like that? Can I get some comments? Can I get some comments down in the old commentor? About your rigilosity. What's your rigilosity? What do you think about this Trump assassination? What do you think about how it ties into Warhammer 40K and how it could unite humanity against a greater threat down the line? Like, what is your idea? Or is all this just sensational and I'm just a schizophrenic talking about it? You can always pull that one. It's all right. Remember, drink your water, hug somebody, and remember to love yourself. Anyway, this is Vlad with the Machete Podcast, and I'm signing out on this rogue radio station tonight, baby.